This Corvette is getting the red glove treatment.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. You've seen this Corvette before. This time, it's the final one. We're going to be applying the app, C6 Adhesion Promoter Polish, and C6 Diamond, our top level, the best of the best.
This is a how-to coat video, but we've never done how to use C6 Diamond before. Why would we do a video like this, Ivan, if the average enthusiast out there can't get their hands on this coating?
Well, first of all, just to show you what the coating can do. Secondly, it's just as easy as our other coatings. The only thing that makes it a pro coating is if you get a high spot and you leave a high spot, you're not gonna have a good day.
Also, what in the heck am I doing in a bow tie? I never wear bow ties. I hate bow ties.
Yes.
I would never be caught dead in a bow tie.
Well, it's because I don't want the bow tie, or I don't want the regular tie flopping on the paint as you're coating the car.
Okay, well here, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
The reason we dressed up in the first place was to show that we wanted to give this only the best treatment. We wanted to show you that you can polish, and we'll show you some B-roll here of us polishing this Corvette. There was no sling because our gold standard polishing system is so easy to use.
Exactly.
So you can do it in a suit and tie.
And in my former life, I wore suit and tie all the time. It actually is my comfort clothing. So to me, a t-shirt is, do I have to wear that? But shirt and tie to me is the way to go.
So
now,
we transitioned from tie to bow tie. Just in case you were curious, which maybe you weren't, I had to explain myself.
Yeah.
I have an adhesion promoter polish. Isn't what we use to polish the car.
No.
Explain it, right? It's a different option than panel prep?
Yeah, this is a way of deep cleaning the paint. So panel prep is a way of doing it. This is a slightly better way. What it does as well is it slightly swells the paint. Now this is single stage paint. People have asked us, can I use app on single stage paint? We're about to answer that question. But it slightly swells the paint or the clear coat, depending on what paint you have on there. It just opens up the pores. So the coating, instead of going on it, goes in it. It's just such a better solution than panel prep. Panel prep is still great. If that's what you have, keep using it. You don't need to buy the app. But if you want the best of the best, that's where the app comes in.
So let's showcase how to use it.
Yeah, we have a 5mm random orbital sander here. Now you can use anything from 2 to 9mm. You don't want to use a rotary, and you don't want to use larger than a 9mm stroke because the abrasive action becomes too much and you actually cure some of the components in the app onto the paint. Not what we want to do. We don't use a lot, and contrary to what we've told you many times where we say use a clean damp pad, now we're using a clean dry pad. And we're putting 3 medium-sized drops on here.
A couple other questions people ask about app is, can I use the forced action? So I believe Flex has one, Harbor Freight has the Hercules.
Yeah, you can because they're only an 8mm stroke.
Okay.
I have it at a medium speed. And I'm not trying to polish with this, I'm simply spreading the app on the surface. Now, the app, you can let it sit here overnight if you want to before wiping it off, or you can do what we're gonna be doing, which is wipe it off immediately. So Nick's gonna follow me around the car wiping it off while I apply it.
You can use a short nap towel to wipe it off. You can use our plush buffing towel, whatever your heart desires, Ivan.
Yeah, and try both. One you might like more than the other. Some people prefer the fluffy towel or plush towel. Other people prefer the short nap towel.
This looks incredibly simple.
It is.
It's actually my favorite part of the process because the tea tree oil, which helps clean the paint, smells so nice. It starts to send me that signal of, you know, kind of like I like iron remover because I'm like, all right, we're deep cleaning the paint. No one likes the smell of iron remover. The smells evoke emotions and sensations for me. And when I smell the tea tree oil, it's like, we are so close.
We're almost there.
Exactly. And it's a nice smell.
Yeah, and just make sure, yeah, there we go. And we just keep going.
Buttery smooth wipe off, as always. No pressure on the towel. So Ivan, is this better than panel prep? Like, how would you describe the adhesion promoter polish in comparison to what people are used to doing, which is a panel prep wipe down or whatever they use for their coating. Some people use isopropyl alcohol to wipe down the panel. I know you're not a huge fan of that.
No.
You know, the difference between a prep wipe down or the adhesion promoter polish.
So the adhesion promoter polish is doing a better job of deep cleaning. It's removing all the little things that could be stuck in the paint using the tea tree oil, and it has a bit, just a very, very small amount of SiO2 and polysilazane to help keep that open pore open. And we've wiped it off, we could walk away for a day and come back and put the coating on. Or we can do it immediately. So the app is very versatile that way. There's no need to do it right away, or there's no need to wait a certain amount of time. How's it feeling, Nick?
Great.
For those of you that are wondering, this is a numbers matched 63 Corvette with the fuel injected 327. 4-speed manual. If you're a Beach Boys fan, they made a song about this car. What was the song? Write it down below.
And are you able to get in all these little nooks and crannies and really, you know, make sure it's prepped with the app?
Yeah, definitely. And the nice thing about the app is, yes, it does get in everywhere because of that soft red jeweling pad. But also, if I miss a spot, as you're rubbing it with the towel, you're actually spreading it to those spots.
Really?
Yes.
So even if you miss a spot with the pad, the wiping of the towel is actually kind of like wiping in the prep solution.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the redundancy then.
You don't want to miss a spot. That's not your goal. But if you happen to miss a small spot, then yes, the towel will do the job for you. Nick, let's get this done. We'll come back to you when we're done applying the app, and then you'll see the application of the coating.
So Ivan, if you're getting a ceramic coating on the website, it may not be diamond because you're probably not a C6 professional installer,
Yeah.
but if you'd like to be one, C6 Ceramics, I mean, we do want high quality professionals to be in our team.
Exactly, it's a sister company to DIY. You know, like a Formula One team and a regular Mercedes, DIY is the regular Mercedes, C6 is the Formula One team.
I would love a Mercedes.
Yes.
And Formula One sounds even better, so that's a great combo. The only thing that's not gonna come with your kit, if you're getting like C6 Hydro Light, for instance, as a consumer, it's going to come with your applicator and your bottle of coating, but you're gonna want a leveling towel and a plush buffing towel for the ceramic coating stage. So we're demoing something that is only available for C6 Ceramics professional installers to install, but the exact same principles what you're about to see apply to all of our coatings, am I right?
Exactly.
How we apply, how we wait to level, the steps with leveling and applying. So what you're about to hear is very appropriate for anyone.
And you know, this is a classic car. It is, for many people, their dream car. So we're dressed up accordingly. Now, I have our C6 Diamond Gloss, give it a few little shakes, open up the bottle, and just like the DIY coatings, put about 8 to 10 drops on the applicator. And I'm not dropping from up here, I'm actually putting the applicator up against the bottle. There's my 10 drops.
So Diamond Gloss, tell me about Diamond Gloss.
Diamond Gloss is the glossiest coating we could do. And the diamond aspect of it, it has refined detonated nano diamonds in it. So it has the strength and the capacity to be the best coating in the world.
The best coating in the world?
I would say it's one of the best.
I mean, that sounds pretty good. I like the sound of that.
Now, I'm starting in a circular motion in the center of the hood. Then I'll box in my edges and pick up that excess coating because there's way too much on the surface right now.
I notice you like to start on a flat panel.
Yeah.
Like the hood usually.
This allows me a nice big space to work in, and at the same time, I can see what I'm doing.
Are you gonna hit these fake vents? Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, these fake vents, we are. The bumpers, the chrome around the windows and stuff, we're actually gonna be using the DIY metal coating. There you go, Nick. This half of the hood is done. Now I've colored outside the lines purposely. I've overlapped onto the fender. I've overlapped onto the cowl.
Depending on your conditions, how long you wait to level the coating is going to change.
Right.
Ivan, can you talk a little bit about what the person out there might look for if they're applying a different coating? A professional installer would know this.
Right.
But if you're applying one of our other coatings, which is a DIY detail coating, it's enthusiast friendly, but there's some basic instructions for when to level.
Right, we're looking for an oil slick on water look, and when 50% of it comes back to clear, that's when we start leveling. And you're pretty close to that, Nick.
Should we give it a shot?
Yeah, give it a little shot, see what it does. And if it feels grabby, stop. But if it's wiping off or leveling very smoothly, then just keep going.
I would say it's feeling a little grabby, but I'm not mad about it.
No.
I don't think my towel is getting wet.
No, and it's looking great.
It's looking great, so keep going?
Yep.
All right. I'm always gonna use my first short nap leveling towel to literally level the coating. So we're not wiping off, Ivan. That's kind of a misconception.
Yeah, we're leveling the coating.
And I'm leveling outside the lines.
Yep.
Everything outside the lines, just to make sure I don't leave any excess coating that could lead to a high spot later. And then I'm hitting it with my insurance towel, right? This is the one that I shouldn't need, but because we don't want to leave any high spots behind, I'm going to go over every part of this section and then very much outside of the lines to ensure I didn't miss anything.
Now that I have the correct amount of coating on my applicator, the first time I put more on because I wanted to prime my applicator, for lack of a better term. But now you'll notice the coating is almost sinking in by itself to the surface. Nick will have very little wiping to do.
Talk about the difference between using panel prep first
Yep.
and using C6 Ceramics Adhesion Promoter Polish first as it relates to how the coating goes on the paint.
So with the C6 app, it's going to go on a little smoother. It's actually going into the paint more than it's going on the paint. So you end up with a much better bond and at the same time, a little more gloss. And the customer or the owner of this vehicle, gloss is his primary concern.
So if you have a show car,
Yeah,
diamond gloss sounds like a phenomenal option.
exactly.
Is it a good option for a daily driver?
It sure is. Now, I would use C6 Hydro or Hydro Light more on a daily driver because of the self-cleaning ability. Not that Diamond doesn't have a self-cleaning ability, but Hydro and Hydro Light are better there.
Now it looks like you applied it super heavy right up here, Ivan, almost to the point where we're getting runs.
Oh yeah,
Do I want to level that or do you want to hit that with
No,
the
I'll stretch it across to this side. So this is where I first put my pad down and I had those 2 drops on there, a little too much. So I'm just gonna spread this and bring this to this side. So you can go level the top of the fender on that side and the cowl. And I'll work my way to the center. I started there, Nick,
Okay.
and work my way down.
It's a little grabby for me this whole time. I think we could just let it sit. a
C6
little.
Diamond is grabby.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. If you wait too long, it's even worse.
Okay. Folks, it's never a bad thing to communicate. So I'm just confirming with Ivan, I've never applied diamond gloss before. Where he's been, I'm doing my insurance towel now. Because I don't want to leave a high spot on this car.
No, high spot with C6 Diamond means you're gonna have a bad day in the future.
I don't want a bad day.
No, nobody does. So Nick, the whole roof and the B-pillar,
Okay, roof and B-pillar.
including the back side of the door.
Ivan, this is stellar. I can feel it, I can see it.
Yep.
I'm just being extra meticulous because this vehicle is worth a lot of money. It's very rare, and I don't want to be High Spot McGee, as some have nicknamed me.
Yeah, and now I've done both sides of the split window here, Nick. The iconic part of this car.
And by both sides, you did the window or around?
No, I
it?
did both sides of the rib in the center.
Got it? I mean, there's not a lot of real estate here, so we're moving pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But Again, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, the Corvette is not a big vehicle.
It's fun. It's fun to do this.
In 1963, it was downright tiny.
Was it really?
If you look at some of the other cars that were on the road, Nick, yes, this was a very small car.
If you have one word to describe this era of Corvette, what would it be?
Evolutionary. So the C1 Corvettes were not the best in terms of performance. This is when the Corvette really came into its own in terms of performance, in terms of style as well. You know, the first, like the 53 Corvette was a beautiful car, but didn't have the style that this has. So this was the 10th year of the Corvette.
How do you feel driving a car like this?
It's like putting on a suit, Nick.
You feel different?
You feel different. I feel better wearing a suit than I do a t-shirt, so. The Corvette is just...
So you're telling me I'll feel better if I drive this Corvette?
Oh yes, 100%. Especially when it's coated.
Well, it's gonna be faster if it's coated, right?
Clean car always drives better, sounds better, looks better.
Scientifically proven, right?
Oh yeah.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Any detailer will tell you that.
Yes, indeed.
Consumer Reports, maybe not, but any detailer, definitely. It's anecdotal evidence. Now around the Corvette emblem here, I'm actually going to be applying a little thicker dose of coating than I normally do because I want to make sure that it's getting in all of here. And then I'll wait for Nick to catch up because he's going to be spending a little more time with the fluffy towel or the plush towel getting in and around this emblem.
Yep. I've often taken the role of the leveler.
Yes.
I like the leveling step. I also like squeegeeing the floor. Some may not like leveling coating. They might like applying the coating. But the leveling stage is very important, Ivan.
It is. And if you're new to installing coatings and you're working with someone with experience, the most experienced person should be the one leveling. Now, Nick and I both have experience, so it's not a problem. But if I'm teaching someone, I will give them this to start. They start applying, they get a feel for it, they see how I level, then I move them to the leveling.
I mean, you have 45 years, I have, 7 or 8, so it's like, I've been doing this a while, I kind of play dumb on the videos. I know what I'm doing, but at the same time...
I would really dive in around that emblem.
All right, I'm just really making sure I can commit to that emblem.
Yep.
But I like the role of student. Ivan's got a lot to say, so.
And I'm always a student too. You know, in detailing, you never know everything. There's always something to learn.
What's something you've learned recently?
A new way in how to look for high spots. We'll be showing that to you in a few minutes here.
Okay. I like to honor, Mother Nature and take it out for a sunlight or a sunset check. Often at sunset, you can see high spots that you missed with the naked eye. Talk about high spot, hot spots, Ivan, as I just spend a little bit more time here making sure I'm not leaving any.
Panel intersections are a place where you're going to get high spots around little cutouts like this, obviously. Any change of plane or change of direction is a spot that you can get a high spot. Normally we would have a mirror here, but this is 1963. The passenger's mirror was just an option back then. And they obviously didn't get that option. So around mirrors, you'll have some at the intersection of fenders and doors. That's a great spot for high spots as well.
So the passenger side mirror was an option?
Yes.
Okay. Can you eyeball check this for me?
Yeah.
This emblem?
Yep, good.
Okay.
Now 63 for me is a very significant year. It's the year Sylvie was born.
Ah. Boy, this is a joy. It's just easy to do this, Ivan.
Yeah.
I might make it look a little harder than you make it look on camera, but it is not hard work. It's just I don't want to miss any steps, right?
No.
This is the time where what we're doing is going to have a lasting impact, and I don't want it to be a bad one.
No, and this car is just simply beautiful. So, the body work on it is good. It's better than when it left the factory. So if we harken back to 1963, let's just say these weren't the best finished vehicles on the road.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna start doing the rear fender, Nick, and you can follow through.
Now what's this contraption you're on, Ivan? I know the people are gonna ask.
The LaCroix Cruiser, it is a prototype. We're not near production yet, so no, you can't buy one yet. But we'll get there eventually. Now, I'm purposely skipping the bumpers because we'll be using DIY metal coating on those.
I used to be a skeptic of the LaCroix Cruiser, but it is nice on the back.
Yes.
And part of it is, and I know we're not selling these, so it's
No.
like, why explain it like this much, Nick? Just do the job. But I didn't want to put the top of my shoes down, but when you put the top of your shoes down,
Yeah.
and you just kind of embrace that ergonomic posture, it's very comfortable.
Yes.
All right, talk to me about what you did. Let's communicate. Let's stay in that vein, because that's always good.
Yeah, so the side of the rear fender, the back, and down to the, as far down as you can go till you run out of paint. So the reflection from that window there is just amazing.
I think if you took this to a car show, it would get some looks before we detailed it,
Yeah.
before we polished it, before we apped it, before we ceramic coated it. Now, I think it would steal the show.
Yes.
Am I being overly hyperbolic?
No, it is a a show-stopping vehicle. Everyone has souvenirs of someone in their life having a Corvette if you're in North America. And the Corvette just holds a special place for people in North America. So,
Wait, have you owned a Corvette?
no. It's one of the vehicles I haven't owned. I've driven many of them.
Yeah.
And to me, they're a fun car to drive, but I prefer driving a slow car fast than a fast car slow. So I extensively drove about a 2012 or so Corvette and found it actually boring to drive
Why?
because you have too much power and you can't use it. It's frustrating.
You're more of a Ford Escape guy.
No.
Isn't that what you have now?
Yeah, but I also have a little BMW Z3. I've got a TR7.
You just can't pull those behind the bus, and
No.
you live in Canada, and when you come to Omaha, the only thing you can tow is your Escape. So I've never seen you with those cars.
Yeah.
What's it like? What's it like when you're behind the Z3, the wheel?
Oh, it's just a fun car to drive. It's not overly powerful. It's not gutless either. It's just a fun car to be in, put the top down. And this Corvette is interesting because most years of Corvettes, the convertible has increased in value more than the hardtop. 63, because of the split window, is the only year that that's reversed.
I believe the owner was saying something about the split window being 1 year only because it was a safety hazard.
Yeah, there's a lot of different rumors and stuff around why they got rid of it, but that is the most persistent one.
What? Well, I mean, you don't have to answer as if you know, because but you seem to always have an answer.
Yeah.
What would make that unsafe?
The inside could actually come and spear the driver. That was the thought.
Oh.
If you got in a rear end accident. Yeah.
Okay.
So Nick, I've just done this part of it, just to give you a little more time around the emblem.
Did you get below here?
Yeah. Now when I do around emblems, I actually put the coating on a little thicker, giving it more time to cure, but at the same time, making sure that Nick has enough to work with. And while he's leveling, he's actually spreading it in a little further around different things.
Boy, if you look at old paint like this, even though I know it's been repainted,
Yeah.
it's not gonna look like regular paint. Like there's a lot of texture underneath the paint. Is that sanding lines? Like what am I looking at?
That's the prep underneath the paint.
So is that just this particular job, or is that an old paint job?
No, that was this particular job.
Because there's gonna be professional detailers out there who have to fake it till they make it for a while.
Yeah.
And they may use a lot of experience they have on new cars and then bring that to this and be like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, we showed it in the first video, but here you can see the cross-hatching of the sanding. And depending on how we can catch it with the light here, it's a little difficult to see. But for me, it just jumps out at me. Most people looking at this car will never see that. But you can actually see the angle of the sanding marks. And some of them are going this way, some of them are going this way. So when the body person was sanding this, let's just say they didn't quite sand enough with the higher grits before putting the paint on.
Okay, I need a second set of eyeballs. How are we looking around the logo? I just,
Good.
okay. How about these letters?
Yeah, looking good.
Okay.
So this car is fuel injected. Young people out there that think fuel injection is new, no, it's been around a long time.
All right, devil's advocate, what is fuel like, there's gonna be one person out there who's like, thanks for asking this question. The others are gonna be like, you're so dumb. What does fuel injection even mean?
So before, or traditionally, cars had carburetors. And carburetor was the way of getting the fuel into the engine, mixing it with air, and making it so that the engine could run. Fuel injection injects a precise amount of fuel into the cylinder, or into the intake runner in this case, and allowing for that perfect mix. Fuel injection, the reason we use it now, A, it's a lot more precise, less emissions, more power, so there's a lot of advantages to fuel injection. But the early mechanical fuel injections like this were a little better than the carburetor, but not much. You know, you didn't need a choke with this, whereas with a carburetor you need a choke when you're trying to start the car when it's cold in the morning.
Boy, all these facts are ones that you wouldn't need to know nowadays, because you just start the car.
Yeah.
I've never needed a choke to start a car in the cold, Ivan.
No, I still own a car with a choke. So,
what's that?
1980 TR7. So I'll let Nick catch up because, again, I did the, below the grill here, below the lights, all around the turn signal there that's way hidden down there. Yeah, all around that. Down underneath it.
So it's not, if you can't see it, don't coat it.
No, everything deserves to be coated. And this reaches all the way to the grill.
And so are we going all the way under there?
Yep.
Okay. Gotta make sure no high spots under here. This is gonna be a very highly visible spot, Ivan.
Still don't want any high spots.
No, we do it the right way.
Now, if you're a Corvette aficionado, what's your favorite Corvette? C1, C2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Holy cow, look at this paint.
Yeah, oh, that gloss there is spectacular.
What?
Now, Nick, we've done a lot of Corvettes in here. What's your favorite?
This one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's amazing. I mean, I like the C8.
Yeah.
It's a nice vehicle.
It is.
You get a lot of vehicle for the price tag.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fun to sit in. But this is a classic. I don't know anything about cars, and I can just see this and go, wow.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that's the criteria of like, which one makes my jaw drop? Which one can I send a photo to my kids and they're gonna think it's cool even though they don't know much about cars? It's this one. How about you?
I'm a C3 fan myself for the looks. For the driving, C5 and up. But for the actual looks, a C3 is my favorite. So going around the emblem, the last one, making sure to work the coating in and around the emblem and on the emblem. And then Nick, with that nice fluffy towel, will come by and level it all up.
Still insurance wiping here, just to triple check.
Now this car has a little over 60,000 miles on it, all original. The engine's never been out of it. It's been a well-kept vehicle. At some point in its life, in the 80s, someone decided they didn't like white and painted it red. So that's where we're getting the body shop, or the body job from.
Like you can see in here, is that old compound or wax?
That's the white paint.
Yeah. Would that be considered a bad job, or is that sufficient? I mean, no one would notice unless you were up close like this, right?
So in the early 80s, this wouldn't have been that expensive of a car.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been, not a cheap car, but wouldn't have necessarily been, a $100,000 or $200,000 car that it is today. So returning it to its original color would increase the value a little bit, but personally, I prefer the red.
I mean, white or red for a sports car like this?
Yeah.
Come on. I actually got passed by a, not me, I was in the middle lane, but there was a red Corvette, and they were upset about the person in the left lane going slow, so they were speeding in the right-hand lane. And I actually appreciated someone in a red Corvette going incredibly fast. I was like, that's how you're, it's probably not safe to pass in the right-hand lane. But I said, good for you.
Yeah, do it on the track.
They say that, you know, a red car, you're gonna get more tickets and stuff, but I was like, that's just the person driving that car probably how it's supposed to. But yeah, we should advocate for doing it on the track, right?
Yeah,
I
don't race on the street, I race on the track. So it's a safer place to do it. Everyone's going in the same direction, technically. If you have someone going in the wrong direction, there's a big problem.
If someone's never been on the track before, Ivan, what are they missing out on? Because I've raced you on the go-kart track, and this guy doesn't mess around.
No. Once the helmet's on, all bets are off. But no.
I believe in the first heat, I outperformed, but then in the second heat, Ivan took the checkered flag.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
But nonetheless, what happens on the track is different than on the street. You're in a safer environment. Everyone, like I said, technically is going the same direction. You know that there are people faster than you. You know that there are people slower than you. There's no speed limit. So people are more respectful. If they know that you can pass them, they're going to let you by. Some people, unfortunately, maybe not, but that's how accidents happen on the track.
Do accidents happen a lot on tracks?
No.
Do you need to have a special car to go on the track?
Well, there are tracks where you can go for a track day and use your street car if you so desire. A lot of people have track cars, and you don't need an expensive car to be a track car. A lot of people use an older Miata, put a roll cage in it, and go out and have some fun. And again, driving a slow car fast on a track is a lot of fun as well. Nick's almost done with the taillights. Now to do the chrome. We don't use metal coating a lot on this channel because there's not a lot of metal on cars these days. But in this case, we do have metal. And the metal ceramic goes on, and we're actually gonna wait at least 5 minutes before leveling it. So Nick's got time to catch up, get that back end all settled in. And I'm just going on these nice little thin strips. If I overlap onto the paint, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm doing my best not to.
Fresh applicator, fresh leveling towels?
Applicator, yes. Leveling towels, not necessarily. You can, but it's not something I'd stress over. Because your towels are not wet. Leveling towels, if you're doing this right, your leveling towel should be basically dry when you're done. Using metal coating on a car that's almost exclusively fiberglass.
I'm just marveling at this paint.
Yeah, so Nick, windshield and window trim, followed by door handle. Just give it another couple minutes, and then you can start leveling.
Now, Ivan, this is raw exposed metal?
Yeah, this is raw chrome. So chromium is a metal.
Because a lot of cars nowadays are gonna look like this, but it's not actual chrome. Can you explain the difference? I know it's so rudimentary, but it's also confusing just if you look at it.
Yeah, the new ones are plastic. It's a chrome look plastic, but it's not actually chrome.
And how would you know? Just if it's a newer car?
Take a magnet. If the magnet sticks to it, you know you have metal underneath the chrome, and then it is a plated chrome. If not, it's a plastic chrome, and well, just leave it be. Coat it with your regular automotive coating. Now, the nice thing about our foam applicator, you can be extremely precise with it where you're putting coating. Because we can fold it, we can manipulate it how we need to get where we need to go. I think you should be good to start leveling on the other side there, sir. So I started with the window surrounds. This was an antenna.
Ivan, what is a metal ceramic coating gonna do for the metal? I know it's different than our paint ceramic coating.
Yeah, it's designed to bond to the metal. So it's going to do a better job in protecting the metal than a paint ceramic coating. A paint ceramic coating is designed to bond to plastic, because that's what paint is. And had we left a paint ceramic coating as long as we left the metal coating, it would have been very difficult to wipe off. But the metal ceramic coating has a slower cure time because it's trying to penetrate that metal as much as possible and bond to the metal. Now, if you do get a little on the paint, not an issue. It's gonna wipe right off. And especially since we had the C6 diamond on there first, it's going to reject the metal coating. like all our other coatings, as long as you're leaving a little trail behind, you don't need to add more.
Ivan, call me crazy. I've leveled or wiped off, however you want to define it.
Yeah.
This metal ceramic coating, it looks shinier.
Yeah, it brightens up the chrome.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to the metal coating. I don't use it really. There's just, again, as you said, there's not a lot of reasons to use it unless you've got a specialized job these days.
Yeah. But definitely it does brighten up the chrome tremendously. Now, if we wanted to, we could use the metal ceramic coating on these hubcaps. The owner is undecided whether he's keeping these or he's going to a Krager SS. I'm voting for the Krager SS myself. You know, it keeps the original look, but the Krager SS was a classic wheel in the time. We're not sure what's happening with the wheels, so we're going to leave them be. We're just gonna clean them up with a bit of ceramic gloss, make sure they're nice and clean, and we'll dress the tires. The tires deserve to be a little brighter on this car. This is 1963. A proper tire dressing in the time looked like a glazed donut.
I say bring back the glazed donut look. I love glazed donut tires.
It has its place. Now, these two applicators, I'm going to put them in my rinseless wash bucket, let them soak there for 15 or 20 minutes. They'll be good to go another time. So back in the day, this was an extreme high performance vehicle. 205 75 15s. That's a very skinny tall tire by today's standards on a very small wheel. So last thing we need to do is look for high spots. I've got a nice white piece of plastic here and I have my inspection light. I'm not gonna shine the light at the car. I'm shining at the plastic and looking at the reflection on the car. And if there's a high spot, we will be able to spot it.
Now I know you've explained it, but please tell me what this cardboard or plastic is. Where can I find it? What should I exactly look for?
It's just regular white signboard, nothing special. Because of the diffused light, it allows you to see any high spots. They just jump out. Now you did a great job so far, Nick.
Okay,
No high spots to be found.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the high spot right there.
Oh.
You see it on camera?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what this cardboard can do for you. So even though you have experience, you need to go around and check.
It always feels like one or two or more get away from me, and that can happen.
Yeah, it does, and that's why we take a few minutes to inspect. With that, Nick, it's fully inspected, it's fully coated, the metal, the tires, obviously the paint. It's looking beautiful. What's another video they should be looking forward to?
If they like Corvettes, Ivan, I've got the video for them. Click here for the adventure of a lifetime.